And welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen, here for another episode of TECSpertZ, episode 6. Anthony Bove here on the mic. Welcome by Markayla, Max, and Brennan, my great colleagues. I will tell you, TECSpertZ is sponsored by the Big Vape Theory and East Carolina University's Office of Undergraduate Research. TECSpertZ is a collaboration between WZMB and the East Carolinian. A little different here in studio for those listening on the mic. Visual aspect here, different room, but hey, we're doing well, we're feeling good, and how about them Pirates?
How about
them Pirates, huh?
How about them?
Did a great job here this past weekend, beating up Tulane, final score 52-29. I couldn't believe my eyes, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. A lot to go through, a lot to dissect here, and let's take it away here, Brennan. What you got here?
Well, Holton had a great game. He had 32 attempts in the air, completed 21 of them with 288 yards and 2 touchdowns. I thought it was a great game. I thought all around we put up a lot of points. 52 is a lot, and that's more than we put up all season. Yeah,
that's saying something.
And we were discussing a couple weeks ago whether or not they were capable of 40-something points a week. They put up 40. How much did they put 3 weeks ago against who?
They put 40 over Marshall.
40 over Marshall. 30 over
Charleston
Southern, and now we have 50 over Tulane. So now we're looking at high-scoring games. The offense is starting to look like it's clicking. If the defense can keep it up, then we're looking at a couple more wins in our category.
I agree, because we were talking last week about playing 4 quarters. Yeah, we didn't get much in the third quarter because they got a 16-0 there, but 17 points shutout in the first quarter, another 14 points in the second quarter. So I say that we're on the rise of getting to those all 4 quarters like we were talking about. I think we have a good season coming up.
One thing I have to say here, I got to get this off my chest. What a huge game by Mr. Mitchell in the backfield.
Oh,
my goodness. 15 carries, 222 yards on the ground, and 2 scores. Are you kidding me? Couldn't stop the run game. How about that?
Couple big breaks. And like we've been talking about the entirety of this show, run game opens the passing game opens the run game. Holton with over 288 yards throwing, 2 touchdowns, 21 for 32. Keaton Mitchell, 15 carries, 222 yards, and 2 touchdowns. We had over 600 yards of total offense. With the defense, holding them to only 29 points versus a Tulane team that's been stacking 40-plus points in their first 3 games. Now, I know we talk about, as Markayla said, playing 4 quarters of football. However, even though we didn't put nothing up in the third quarter, we only held them to 16 points, which in the grand scheme of things is nothing much. They've put nothing up in the first, 7 up in the second, 16 in the third, and 6 in the fourth. So that's where all the points come from. And overall, even though we put nothing up in the third, that's a solid third quarter right there.
Yeah, I still feel like this is the most complete game we've seen out of this ECU offense so far this season. And if they can continue that, we're looking good up ahead.
Absolutely. Our offense has been a little bit back and forth, but we've seen throughout the first 3 weeks, we've seen very good sparks and big possibilities and, things that we can't put together, just haven't been able to put it together. But in this 5th game versus Tulane, we really did put it together, come out with 52 points. It seemed like whenever we needed a score from the ECU Pirates, they were back in a couple minutes with another touchdown.
And we got it.
There really wasn't a point. Tulane would come back and put 8 up on the board, then we'd go back and put 7. Usually from the ECU Pirates, that's not something you're used to seeing. But I love seeing against the Tulane Green Wave this week.
Here's another key piece of information here. Ryan Jones, the tight end, led with 6 catches, 58 yards, and a score. I think they're going to have to use him a little bit more here down the stretch in this offense. A key role in it, obviously, Mr. Snead as well. 4 catches, 78 yards, and a score. So good to see here on the passing game. Obviously, the big thing to talk about here is the ground game, though, obviously, with Mitchell.
Exactly. We've been talking about defense a lot this throughout the season, but offense really held him down. He had 0 interception. The offensive line, Ayler said afterwards, he said that was the best he's seen the offensive line play since he's been here. They were really protecting him. They weren't letting him get past, and that's how we get these big passes and these big runs by Mitchell, getting these big passes by Aylers.
Yeah, by him saying that says something. Right?
Yeah.
The offensive line staying in there, staying tough, protecting him.
And absolutely, we saw a different Holton than we're used to seeing. Even in the last 2 weeks ago, Holton, he made great throws, but later down in the game, he broke down, threw a couple picks for CSU.
Yeah.
We saw a solid Holton from snap 1 to the final snap of the game. Right. He was solid in the backfield. He was not scared to wait, take his time. He knew exactly when the pass play is broken down and it turns into a run. He was back there. He waited for the play to develop. He did everything you have to do at the quarterback position, and that's why we came out on top. I think that opened up the ground game. Keaton Mitchell, obviously a power running back. He's going to take every inch you give him, and he's going to make it a mile. We know that from Keaton. But if Keaton feels like he has to run every single play and we can't get that pass game going, 288 yards is big for us.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Holton put up 200-plus yards and knock him out with points. But 288 yards, this is big for us.
Yeah, I feel like the receiving game is getting there. It's slowly building. At first, we only saw the ball going to Tyler Snead, and that was it. We're seeing it being spread across the offense a little bit more. We had Tyler Snead at 78 yards. Audi Amotosho has 76 yards, and Ryan Jones had 58. And C.J. Johnson had 52 yards. And that's more spread out than it's been when Tyler has 112 and everybody else has 30 to 20 yards. So if the offense is improving and the defense can keep up, well, actually the defense has been playing good this season. We were talking about
there's not much we could talk about the defense.
Yeah. We've been raving about them for some time, right? The last few weeks.
They've been playing incredible. I don't even want to jinx it. I mean, they've been on top of the ball every single time.
Yeah.
Jaquan McMillan is someone we got to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Last 2 games a pick, and these picks come in crucial moments.
Absolutely.
He's jumping up, making tough picks over the middle of the field. He's jumping in front of routes. He's not just, getting lucky with these tip interceptions. He's going up for the ball. He's cutting in front of routes, and they come at perfect times. I mean, they come when the team's driving. They come when we need a stop.
When we need it most.
When we need it most. He's really been coming up big for us. So there's not much we could say about the defense doing poorly. Yeah, basically 30 points given up by them, but against a team that were expected to blow us out of the water, put about 40 up on the board, this is a big win. And what people don't realize is you could allow points to be put up on the board as long as you're leading, or as long as, let them chew time off the clock. And so that's what our defense has been doing. A lot of pressure on the Green Wave this week and a lot of pressure on CSU last week. So our defensive line is doing phenomenal. We got our D-backs playing very well. So there's not much we can complain on the defensive side of the ball. It's just we need to put the offense together, and I think this is exactly what we need for
3 straight wins.
Yeah.
3 straight wins for the
First
Pirates.
time in 7 years.
How about that?
You said it last week that we needed to steal this game from Tulane to even get those 6 wins that we're hoping for, and that's what we did. And also I want to just bring attention to Mason Garcia. He got in there for three plays, got in his first throwing touchdown. So I think that even though Ehlers had a great game, it's great to see that he got in there to make a difference for our team as well.
Yeah, Tyler Snead got in that backfield and threw one, too. He didn't get a completion, but we know what Tyler can do in that.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, he did a little something.
But going forward, we're looking at UCF next week. And I feel like that's a big opponent that going forward, there are some game plan shifts that need to change because that's a really strong defense and a really strong offense. And to have another really good, complete game like this, we need to go into a really, really tight practice week. Everything needs to be perfect, play perfect. Those 2-minute drills. When you get in the red zone, it needs to be 3 plays and you're in the end zone already.
You need to play pretty crisp.
Real crisp.
Razor sharp, crisp playing, defense, offense, the whole thing, the whole shebang. 6 p.m. next week, live from Orlando, Saturday, October the 9th, we'll play UCF. Following that, we're going to have a bye week, and then we're going to go to Houston and play them. But let's talk about UCF now. Hold on a second. Our predictions from last week, I don't think anybody nailed this one. Am I right? No, I don't think anybody saw that one.
We all took ECU to win.
We took ECU to win, however, but I think we lowballed the scores a little bit.
100%.
We didn't see 52 coming up, right?
No
I think the highest had to be in the 30s or something like that.
I said 38.
So 52-29, the final score here. So now this upcoming week against UCF, going to be a tougher opponent. Somebody that we've faced a lot in the past. Success has kind of been, like a seesaw kind of. We've had their number, then they've had our number. Back and forth fight. Mixed bag for sure. I'm going to start with you, Markayla. What do you have here against UCF?
All right, so like you said, seesaw. We have 10 wins on them and 9 losses with them. They're coming off a loss against Navy. We're coming off 3 good wins. It's going to be their family weekend, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be packed there. But I'm going to say 28-35, us in favor.
How about that?
I'm going to say that they have had a high score of 35. We just made it to 52. So I think that we can hold them. I think we're coming in with a lot of confidence, even though it is away, even though it is a big conference game. But I think that if we can keep the momentum that we've had and keep improving like we've been showing, then I think we have a chance.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of faith for this game. I'm not going to lie, guys. UCF is a monster that we lose to a whole lot often. I feel like if ECU can pull this one out, put ECU in a bowl game at that point. If we beat UCF, we get in a bowl game. But I think my final score prediction is going to be, I think UCF is going to put up like 52 on us. It might be 52-28, I think, UCF. And the only reason I'm saying that is because we've struggled in the past. UCF is a big, bad bully when they come here, and I know that for a fact. Going there is going to be difficult. It's in Orlando. It's their family weekend. They're going to be loud. ECU is going to have to show that dog if they're really going to have to come out and beat them.
I'm going to go 35-31. ECU to upset UCF.
Wow, it's close.
If you asked me last week, I would say the same as Brandon. I would say
Yeah.
UCF stomps all over us. However, I don't think there is many teams that beat us if we play the way we played last week. I mean, I'm just saying it like that. I think we go to Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati comes here. If we play that way, the way we just did, I think we give Cincinnati a fight and maybe take it.
Yeah.
So I don't think there are many teams that are going to beat us if we play like that, but it's going to take that to win. So anything short and we're going to fall short. However, I'm going 35-31 ECU to upset UCF.
Okay, now let me run through some of the scores here from what UCF has played so far this season. They put up 36 points against Boise State. They put up 63 against BCU. They actually lost, but they put up 35 points to Louisville, and they lost to Navy by only 4 points, 34-30 final score. That was last week. Interesting here, what we're kind of talking about. We have a couple upsets, a couple victories. I might side here with Brennan with the Pirates losing, but it's going to be close. So I will say 31-28, decided by a field goal, and UCF will win it. But I think that we're going to be very much in this game. I hope to be very much in this game, as a matter of fact. We definitely need to show some dominance if we want to win this one. This is not going to be easy. This is on the road, Parents' Weekend, like we talked about. We've been playing well. We've won 3 straight. We've been home, in some of these contests. So now going on the road, we're going to have to try and really dig deep here.
Yeah, can't get comfortable. We've been home, like you said, so we've been a little bit comfortable. We got to get it out of our comfort zone and go down to Orlando and do what we got to do.
Yeah, I mean, personally myself, I want to see ECU with the ball first. Usually, personally myself, I'm a fan of, defer to halftime. But ECU has been coming out very hot on that first possession, whether it's starting with a field goal, whether it's starting with the touchdown.
Just points, a source of points in general.
Yeah, their offense gets rolling if they start early and their defense plays better while it's ahead. So that's what we want. We want to come out early, get a touchdown up on the board. And as Brennan said, this is the game. If we get this win, we're in a bowl game. I feel that certainly because we can take a game versus Temple, we could take a game versus Navy, and we could take a game versus USF. If we want to secure it for sure, we need to steal one here. Or we need to steal one down the line versus Houston or Memphis or Cincinnati, which those are going to be a little bit tougher games getting on later in the season when all the teams are getting better. So if we want a little bit of cushion, this is the game to take. And coming off a big win last week and 3-game win streak, we don't want to see that end. And we've constantly been getting better. We've been playing against CSU, and I think we could all agree that was just an ugly game. I mean, at the end of the day, you put a win in the win column, but we win ugly. Yeah. I mean, at least you put that on there. And then coming out the way you played versus Tulane, that's 2 completely different teams you're playing. So I want to see that versus UCF. We need to play as we played versus Tulane or even better.
Well, now you wonder if we can get that run game going again here in back-to-back games. Yeah. As dominant as we were last week, I think UCF is probably going to make it a focal point to shut down our run game.
Exactly.
They're going to try and circle Mitchell and say we got to stop that man.
There hasn't been many teams able to stop him yet, though.
I understand. But this is, this team that we're about to play here now, a little bit different from some of the rest that we've played.
It is completely. And then I'm a pass guy, but I think that if they circle up Mitchell a little bit more, we're going to have to throw it a little bit.
We're going to have to throw it, and Holton's going to have to put it together.
This is the game.
I think he can.
This is the game where you kind of got to sell out. If they're taking away your run game, throw the ball up.
Yeah.
I mean, make good reads, throw the ball up. If they pick you,
I'm sure there's going to be some mistakes we have to minimize.
Let your defense make a stop, but you got to throw the ball up. You got to have them make some plays. You got to make good reads. You got to throw the ball down the field because Keaton has been running like a bat at it. He's been running like a bat.
Yeah.
So you gotta just. I mean, he's gonna run the ball, and if they circle him and stop him, try Rajay, try throwing the ball down the field. You gotta find what's working.
Weapons. They have weapons.
You gotta find what's working. You gotta find it early.
Yeah.
So, and in my opinion, don't sell out on making Keaton Mitchell, the benefactor of this game. If he's not working, it doesn't mean anything's wrong with him. It just means they're tightening down on him so much that we can't get it to him. So be willing to throw the ball. Be willing to give it to Rajay. See what happens out of the backfield.
If the O-line keeps protecting him like they did last game, then passing it won't be as hard as it has been in the past. So we have that there, and I think that it's going to come down to passing. Like you said, they're going to keep Mitchell. They were looking at Snead before. A lot of the teams kept Snead on hold, but now it's Mitchell the one that they keep looking at because he's the one making it 60, 70 yards down the field. So
Yeah.
I definitely agree that if we get on top first, it's a lot harder to catch up to a.
I think a big receiver for this game. We need to see a big game out of CJ Johnson.
Yeah.
I think he's been quiet this season.
Yeah.
Been able to throw the ball to him a little bit, but he really hasn't made a splash, in this game. And if they're locking down Snead and they're locking down Mitchell, I think he's our next best option.
Yeah.
I agree.
He's a
Came
big
out last
guy.
game a little.
He's a big guy that can jump up with you, and he could beat you up top. So if Holton's feeling him under pressure a little bit, throw it deep, see what CJ can do.
Yeah.
But that CJ needs to be prepared and needs to be ready to run a post, need to be able to run a pylon and get over there and make a big catch in the end zone.
We'll see what the ECU football Pirates have up their sleeve this weekend at UCF. 6 p.m. start this Saturday down in Orlando. I'm going to send it over to Markayla for some extra news here with some other sports.
Yep, so soccer finally got a win after going 4 games losing, 1 tie. They're 5-7-1 right now. They've started conference play. They're going to be at home Thursday at 7 playing Temple, and then they're going to be away Sunday playing Houston at 1. They beat Old Dominion yesterday 1-0 at home, so that was good. And then we have volleyball, their record 6-7. Yesterday they also won. They beat Memphis 3-0, and then they're going to play Cincinnati at home Wednesday, and then they're also going to travel to Temple Friday to play at 6. So I think we have a lot of games we can watch this weekend. I think that if we can come out and support Pirate Nation for soccer and volleyball when they are at home throughout the week will be good, but we've got good games coming up.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. I mean, obviously not the way they would have liked their season to progress so far, but we've been seeing the grit from these ECU Pirates throughout the year. I mean, soccer team really making a lot of push in their game versus SMU that I was at. I see that they don't give up later down the stretch, which is something you can't say for a lot of teams. They had a lot of shots on goal, missed a little high, which I got frustrated seeing, but at the end of the day, they were putting shots on the net. They were not giving up later down the half, which a lot of people would do. So I'm happy to see that. I mean, I don't think this is going to be our year to really make a run or even make the playoffs, anything like that, but I'm excited to see where we go forward. I think the seasons that you get, these losing seasons, you need to take the positives out of each and every game and use those as stepping stones. So I don't think we're a team to write off quite yet because we started the season quite hot.
Yeah.
So definitely a team that could put wins together, put the ball in the net, and we just need to see where we keep going. I'm excited to see what we do.
Looking to see some growth, right?
Looking to see
that's
some
what we
growth.
want to see. You want to see from start to finish some growth.
Losing seasons happen to everyone. I mean, everyone has a team that goes 0 and whatever. But if next season you go 0 and whatever, then you didn't grow. You need to keep growing. You need to take the positives from each thing. You need to emphasize the weaknesses, really focus on those. And this is a team that I think can do that. It's a team that constantly gets better, even if they're losing. They're not giving up down the stretch, which I like to see. We need to work a little bit, I think, on putting the ball on target. They're putting the ball in a good spot, just missing a little bit. So I think that's a point of emphasis, but I definitely like where we're headed.
I think for soccer and volleyball, I'm glad they got in some early wins because now all of our teams are in conference play, and this is not an easy conference for any of our sports. So it's just going to be a struggle for the rest of it, but I think they can handle it. I think they can end out with a winning record, both soccer and volleyball, so we'll see how it goes.
Also, in other news for soccer, freshman Haley McWhorter was awarded Rookie of the Week for the American Athletic Conference.
That's great.
Yeah, it's our first time winning the award. It's also the first time since 2014 since somebody has won the award for the Pirates for soccer. So that's also congratulations to her.
Excellent. Very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps up here episode 6 on TECSpertZ. Just to make sure you know, TECSpertZ is sponsored by the Big Vape Theory and East Carolina University's Office of Undergraduate Research, and TECSpertZ is a collaboration between WZMB and the East Carolinian. That wraps up episode 6. Catch us not next week, the week after, as it's going to be the fall break this weekend and a bye week for the ECU football team, so we will catch you on the flip side next time here on TECSpertZ. Take care, everybody. Thank you all for listening. Have a good one.
All right, thank you.